2015 with like giving reviews. And so for me, the reason why I like watching K-dramas is because, one, I like to watch and listen to Koreans and hopefully somehow absorb the Korean language. So now I know a lot of terminology and different phrases that they use in rom-coms and everyday Korean life. I'm not as into historical K-dramas or dramas about the legal system or medical, because the medical, they can get really gory. I haven't watched US programming in a while, so I'm not really sure if they use more gory things, but that's not something that I enjoy. So I really do like the daily dramas such as this one, which is The Love in Your Eyes. And I think that the characters are pretty standard. Like, they have a formula on how they make K-dramas. They have the very wealthy family. There's always a wealthy family for some reason. Well, I can't say always, but usually there's a wealthy family, and then there's like someone who is not well off, someone who is, you know, kind of average, basic, and then they somehow meet up with this rich son or grandson. They have a romance, and all of a sudden now there's like all this controversy that's involved. So I always found that to be very kind of, I don't know, trite or trope. Hello. But I feel like it's just a very canned type of K-drama, and I like it because it's just easy to watch. They're very easy, and I feel like, you know, it's a nice escape to the everyday lives. So the day's going well. It's pretty much the end of the day, and that's why I'm kind of relaxing into K-dramas, watching K-dramas, because I'm kind of, you know, wanting to watch K-dramas and just relax, and then just, I don't know, have a relaxing day and that type of thing. So yeah, I try to just, at the end of the day, not do anything too taxing on my brain or physically exhausting. Just, hey, how are you? Just wanting to kind of relax. And so now I am watching K-dramas and just talking on this live, because something that I kind of like to do in tandem, because Little Women. Okay, I watched that K-drama and it was so good. Kim Go-eun I thought she did really well, and she's a great actress. And the evil rich lady, she's in a new K-drama on Netflix where she's like this baby expert. So yeah, you know, I watched all the episodes and I think I liked the ending. Okay, so it was a very, I'm not going to give anything away just because it's like, you know, it's kind of dark. It's definitely dark, but, oh, thank you. But I don't think that I want to have any kind of spoiler alert for Little Women, because like it goes really fast. That K-drama goes really fast. I think that it's just a very fun, dramatic, very intriguing K-drama. And the guy, the lead male, that guy, his name on Instagram is Wee or WI-WI-WI or something like that. He was like, I thought he did really well in that drama. And so I kind of want to know if he is going to be in season 2 of Squid Games. And even though Squid Games is not something that I personally, is not my genre, it was way too much violence. But I thought, you know, it was good the first time around. It gave the Korean entertainment so much like buzz around it. There was so much excitement to it that I was like, oh, you know, I'm glad that they got recognition for it. Like what was his name? Lee Jung-jae? Lee Jung-jae? He finally got his big break because he was so good in Morishige, or Death Watch, back in the late 90s or mid 90s. I mean, this guy's been around for a long time. He used to be a model, and you know, there's been like some stories about his personal life, but he, I think, did excellent in this drama, and he's older now, so I'm so glad that he was able to get more like famous. I'm kind of like, people were excited to see Gongyu in the first episode where he played Dachi, I think it's that game, with Lee Jung-jae's character, and just smacked Lee Jung-jae like a bunch of times. But I kind of wish Gongyu would have had a much stronger presence in that K-drama, just because he's just has such a like manly presence. Like I find that he's just a very cool actor. I love all of his dramas, from Coffee Prince to Tokebi or Goblin. Oh, and Big. He was in this K-drama that wasn't like that famous, but it was big, where he his soul inhabited like this younger kid. And Kim Min-jung, or anyways, she was in Boys Over Flowers. She was in that drama. She was the lead actress. And then Suzy was in that K-drama too. So I feel like all of them did so well in Big. It was just such a cute drama. I mean, completely unrealistic. It was kind of like Secret Garden, a little bit like Secret Garden, except the lead characters weren't switching bodies. It was Gongyu just inhabiting actually, it was Gongyu, but the younger, sorry, I messed it up. The younger guy was inhabiting Gongyu's body. So that was a great K-drama. Loved it. Highly recommend. And the one that I'm watching right now, The Love in Your Eyes. So actually that guy, the lead guy, he was in Big. He played her younger brother, so he was like a secondary character. I haven't seen him really in many other K-dramas, but he's not your usual leading man type. He's more of a secondary type, like how he was in Big, where he played the goofy younger brother. And in this drama, this one that I'm watching right now, he's actually playing the leading man, which I don't find to be completely believable, but you know, there's always different people in real life. They don't always look like Gongyu or Lee Min-ho or Park Seo-joon, like those leading character guys. They, you know, look like your average day, well, I mean, it's real life, so everybody looks like your average day people. But yeah. So anyways, in this drama, he's the leading man, but I don't really see him in the leading male role. I find him more of the kind of the goofy brother who keeps getting into difficult situations. But yes. The grandmother is drinking and she's talking to a picture on the wall, so it's a very hierarchical, I guess, lifestyle. But I was actually going to mention which K-dramas I'm currently watching, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that because it was, I don't know. There's nothing that's standing out to me. Like Chae Siwon from Super Junior, excuse me, He is currently on the drama Love is for Psychos, or Love is for Stupid People, or Love is Not. It's like a very bad title. It's not a title where I could see the sarcasm. I can see like they're trying to be cute and punny, but it's not. I think they could have picked a better title and therefore made this drama a little bit better. But I guess it's doing okay. So there were a lot of, I guess, gratuitous shots of Cheshire like semi-undressed. Like, the man has a really nice athletic form. So his body is like, he obviously keeps very good care of himself. He's a very athletic looking guy, somebody who, I guess, you know, as a dancer, singer, he probably, especially for SM Entertainment, he probably had to be in very good shape. And in the drama, I guess, what is it? Love is for Psychos, or Love is for Crazy People? Whatever, Love is Stupid? Anyways, that drama, he still has an amazing body, and they make every effort in, I think, almost every episode to show off his physique, which, you know, I guess people are watching for some reason. The storyline itself is pretty cute. It reminds me of Singles Inferno, not because it's a reality show, but because it's a Korean drama and they're following a television producer who is doing something that's kind of, I guess, they're showing a reality show within the Korean drama. I hope that makes sense. So this reality show inside the Korean drama, it's very much like Singles Inferno, where it's a dating show and they're trying to, I guess, kind of play up the drama of dating and how people are potentially attracted to each other. So I don't know. I thought it was cute. It's fun. I recommend that one for something that's very lighthearted. It's very rom-com. The lead characters, Cheshire and the girl that is the lead female, she was actually in a very good drama. She was in WWW Search. And so they fell in, or they had like this thing, this kind of like flirtation in college, where I think at certain different points in time, they both liked each other, but at different times. And so it was like, they didn't really quite know, I guess maybe it never went anywhere. It didn't go to any fruition or anything. So it's kind of surprising that they made it all the way into their 30s and dating. And so finally he gets up the energy to ask her, kind of like show his real affection towards her. And the thing about that drama is her previous boyfriend comes back into the picture, and that was just a mess. It was just a mess because he left her because he wanted to have her go to New York with him, but she wanted to stay in Korea to pursue her own career, which makes sense. Like, you know, when you're out of college and you want to, you know, prove yourself or make something of yourself in terms of your career, it would be difficult if you were following somebody to pursue their career, unless you've got, and back then remote jobs weren't really as viable as it is now. So yeah, so she stayed behind. Her job didn't, I mean, she's doing well. I think she is a producer, but she's not producing like mega hit TV shows. Like, one of them got canceled. She had an entanglement with one of the show stars that was prior. So then, yeah, And then Cheshiwan, he is the son of a wealthy family, of course, and so he drives this really fancy car, of course, and he's a doctor, of course, because that's, in Korean dramas, those are kind of like, you know, the resume kind of background of the lead male character. But I don't know, I personally like Cheshiwan when he plays like quirky characters. The one that I really liked most of all was when he played She Was Pretty. He fell in love with his coworker that was very awkward. She was awkward, and he, of course, was like the secret, suave, undercover author. And yeah, anyways, I thought he was really fun in that one. And Park Seo-joon was in that drama. It was so good. Park Seo-joon was in that drama. He was in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, and then he was also in that K-drama with Ji-sung, where Ji-sung had multiple personalities. That one was hilarious. And Park Seo-joon and the lead actress in She Was Pretty, they were both in the drama together with Ji-sung when Ji-sung was going through multiple personalities. So yeah, that's what I think in terms of those K-dramas. But I might have to sign off soon because for some reason I'm still have a pretty nagging cough. I think along with many others in this side of the world. Oh, there's Jesus. I caught that respiratory virus thing that a whole bunch of children got. And I don't even know how I got it because I'm not really around children. I was around a lot of work people, and I'm sure they have a lot of kids, or maybe they had children who were also around kids. But yeah, it's not good. I hope it'll go away soon because it's just a nagging cough. And the more I talk, the more it just kind of builds up. So I think just for my own sake, I might sign off from this little bit of K-drama recommendation via TikTok Live. So this girl, the lead girl in The Love in Her Eyes, or The Love in Somebody's Eyes. Let's see. The Love, oh well, whatever. The Love in the Eyes. Okay, so that guy, I remember him as being the dorky brother that was in love with Susie. And I don't really see him as a lead male guy, but you know what? More power to him, because he's going to be on a lot of episodes, because these types of daily dramas are many episode long. And then this girl, I've seen her in different K-dramas. She has like the biggest eyes, and I would say she's a little bit more traditional Korean looking. And she's got these sad puppy dog eyes that are huge, and maybe that's why they decided to call it The Love in the Eyes or whatever. But yeah, I think that this K-drama is cute. And it's just easy to watch. It's just easy because, you know, the lead females, it always seems like something happens that's outside of their control, and they're just kind of pushed around by the higher ups in the company. And I think that happens in a lot of work environments, and so, you know, a lot of people can relate to that. You know, I always kind of wondered, you know, everybody has to do their job, and sometimes the job is unpleasant, and sometimes, especially if you're managing people, you know, you do have to manage them. You have to make sure that they're doing their job. But I feel like there's some people who take it to the next level of just bullying and just being obnoxious and awful as individuals. And I just don't understand that part of it. You know, depending on the I've experienced micromanaging, I've experienced different things, but like there's some people that are intentionally just evil, and which is interesting because like you don't, and I guess it's like you don't really think about it because like if your mindset isn't like that, like if you're doing your job, you're doing your job. Like some people, as a manager, you have to fire individuals, especially if you're not doing their job. But intentionally being evil is just next level. And then on TikTok, I finally understand some of the things that that's going on. My neck hurts. Just this whole side hurts. But with certain people, especially on TikTok, I've seen real life stories where you're just like, you just can't understand how somebody can think like that, especially like just like the fights that are going on, the Karen and Chad stories. I mean, I feel bad for anybody named Karen or Chad because like, those were popular names back in the day. I went to school with many a Karen and Chads. Well, not too many Chads, but there were some Chads when I was growing up in school. And I did have a manager named Karen, but she was so nice. She was a really good manager. She just was very even-keeled. She was a little bit odd, though. She was a little bit odd, but she was really nice. She was just very level-headed, and I thought she was a good manager. She was a bit quirky. Some of the stuff, it's just like, interesting. Anyways, and I've had a few managers named Karen, so you'll never know which one it is. But yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, on TikTok, there are some crazy real life stories where you're just like, oh my God, I cannot believe that actually happened, because it just seems unreal that people will take certain things so far, and it's really abhorrent, disgusting behavior. And then when you see what's going on in the world, the news is depressing and terrible because of what's going on in different parts of the world, and then even local news. Like, I feel like people are like, maybe it's because of self-protection and, trying to look out for yourself, that you want to know what's going on in the world. Because if you're just like, everybody's happy, then there are some crazy people out there and they're not nice. So you have to be careful. But yeah, that's it. Oh my gosh, the drama in this K-drama. It's like this whole thing about this I think she's an orphan. She doesn't sound like she had family. And I just don't understand why there's so many orphans and adoptees in Korea. I feel like, what happened that there's so many people that are born out of wedlock or without family? And that's like a huge thing for Koreans, is the bloodline of an individual. This K-drama, it's called The Love in Their Eyes. Swizz Beatz. That sounds like a popular rapper name. But yeah, it's cute. She's trying to quit, but I don't think the grandfather's gonna let her, because the grandfather is trying to somehow have her be part of his conglomerate chain of like convenience stores. Like he knows that she's a very hard worker, so yeah. I don't know. So, Swizz Beatz. And so we're not on the topic, but I'm going to change the topic to food. So because of inflammation in my neck and back and stuff, I decided to cut out inflammatory foods. So it's not K-drama related, Oh, Alchemy of Souls. They're coming out with season 2. I actually, one of the things that I'm thinking about doing is, I'm actually thinking about doing a update of all the Korean dramas and then doing a guess if I finished the K-drama. Because like I start a lot of K-dramas, but I don't finish them. Some of them lose my interest. Oh, but back to my anti-inflammatory nutrition. So I can eat dairy, like have no problem with milk, cheese, yogurt, any dairy product, any cow product. But I heard that it's pretty inflammatory to different individuals. So I've decided to eliminate that just to see if that's gonna free up some of the inflammation in my neck and back. The second is gluten, and I don't even know if I'm doing it very well, because it is what it is. I'm not that hardcore. But gluten, I have no pastas, no noodles, no breads in my... Oh, I am taking turmeric. I take the powder and I take the little capsules. So, oh, and cinnamon. Turmeric and cinnamon, I heard, are very good for inflammation. But yeah, cut out the gluten. I don't have any breads or pastas in my house. And then alcohol. So I would have a glass of red wine because I heard that there's a lot of antioxidants, there's resveratrol, but that is also a very inflammatory type of thing for the body. And sugar. So I cut out dairy, gluten, sugar, and alcohol. And I'm trying to cut out as much red meat that I was eating, just because it's just, I don't know, like for some reason I tested a little bit high on my cholesterol, but then the doctor didn't say anything about my test. Yeah, I think it's a lot of people's difficulty, but I think, you know, we can overcome. I'm certainly not going to be as strict if I ever continue to go and meet up with friends for dinners or, you know, because I'm not going to be that person who's like, no, I don't eat gluten or dairy or that. Yeah, I do like wine. Wine, I think, is just a very, like in moderation. Red wine in particular is, I think, still good for you due to some of the resveratrol and antioxidants. But on the flip side, they're saying there's other things with resveratrol, like just regular grapes and that type of thing. And yeah, and acai. So, but yeah, if I go to dinners with individuals, I am not going to be the person that's so restricted because that's a little bit awkward. Not that I'm not really going anyplace really, but in case I do, I don't want to be the annoying person and say, no, I can't eat that or can't do this and that. When I felt the best, I would have to say, is when I did the Daniel fast. And I did the Daniel fast with a church group that I was in. And a lot of the people, see, sugar and alcohol are both extremely damaging to the liver and it spikes insulin. So that's kind of where I'm trying to regulate my blood sugar intake because as people get older, I think that insulin resistance is not good. I don't know, I'm reading and watching a lot of podcasts and like nutritional things, so I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. But yeah. And where was I? I was saying something about food. But yeah, I think, so I'm trying to like just keep a very like even keeled, no sugar spikes in my blood. Although I still like dark chocolate. I mean, you can't get rid of everything that brings you joy and happiness. So dark chocolate, not milk chocolate because that's more sugar. But I don't have sugar in the house. The only thing that I have that's sugar related is fruits and Manuka honey. The reason why I have Manuka honey, oh, and chocolate. So Manuka honey is supposed to be somehow good for you. Dark chocolate, again, supposed to be good for you. So while I cut out gluten, dairy, sugar, and alcohol, I'm now trying to uptake my intake of fiber, magnesium, omega-3, and vitamin D. I don't know. I think this is what happens when you get older and you're just looking up too much information on nutrition. I think it's because like I was taking care of family members for a while and they're much older, and the ones that just seem to have a better quality life are the ones that are just fit and active, and I think it's better for people mentally and physically if they if they give themselves an advantage. So like for me, I mean, I lived many parts of my life indulging in sugar, sweets, going out with friends, having very rich meals. But now as I get older, and especially with, you know, different aches and pains, like why not try to relieve or keep that a little bit down, you know? So this lead male guy, his hair is just not, I don't know, like I think they're trying too hard with the hair. It's kind of long, it's kind of, they overstyled it, so yeah. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I do take supplements. But then I also heard that depending on your body type and genetics and that type of thing, some supplements don't do anything for a person. So, but I take a lot of vitamins, and then I kind of wonder, am I taking too many supplements? Like it's taxing on the body to get rid of different materials that you're intaking. Like some of the things, you know, you don't want it to get to toxic levels. So I'm taking a hair, skin, nail vitamin because like due to stress and like I think just stress on the body, I lost so much hair in the last year, like in 2020. I lost, like I would say more than half my hair due to stress and anxiety and different things that were going on. Clumps of my hair fell out. And I actually, you know how Will Smith's wife supposedly had alopecia, and then Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on national TV for a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair. That actually happened to me. I had so much stress that a centimeter hole of hair fell out, and I had no idea because like I don't check out the back of my hair. The only reason why I knew I had lost so much hair because clumps of it fell out in the shower, and then I just would have like heaps of hair that fell out. I mean, I could have made like 3 wigs or something. It was crazy. And I could feel the back of my head, and I finally like took some pictures of it, and it had like some parts of my scalp was like super visible. It was so bad. But I had like a little tiny missing clump of hair, and I didn't know that it was missing. Had I looked, I probably would have seen like a little patch of missing hair. It wasn't until it grew back out, and then like I had this patch of hair that was like half an inch long right here. It was like a little shrub of hair that was like kind of just growing right back there. Very odd. Health is, well, like I really feel like even though I'm being kind of very meticulous about like learning more about proper nutrition, about what's like doing some of the elimination about what might be causing some inflammation. But yeah, I watered it, I scrubbed it, oh my God. And then I actually took hair, skin, nail vitamins, and now I put in like this Kiehl's serum with rosemary oil. It seems to be working a little bit. Like back in 2020, you know, after the beauty shops opened back up, I used to be told my hair was so like plentiful and thick, like the hairstylist would get annoyed because they would have to use so many bottles of color in my hair. But that was the first time anyone's ever said, oh, we're not gonna layer it too much because you don't have that much hair. Yeah, so, okay, well, I lost like 25 pounds, and I'm not that big to lose 25 pounds. It was like, was it 25 pounds? 23 pounds. I dropped 23 pounds, and I did not know why. I wasn't sure, but now that I think back, it's because nothing tasted good. For about 6 months, I didn't like eating because nothing I ate tasted good. So you put the pieces together on why I lost more than half my hair, why I dropped 23 pounds. Not that I could really lose that much, but yeah, lost that much weight because of I'm not going to say it on live, just because I don't know, people seem to get banned here and there and for whatever reason. But yeah, I lost that much weight, lost more than half my hair, and food, I couldn't taste food. It was really bizarre. I think it was stress. It was being, and I think the reason why I'm having such a difficult time clearing this cough is because I'm just not as strong as I was prior to 2020. Doesn't that suck? Anyways, yes. So that's why I did not cut out chocolate. Okay, I'm not cutting out dark chocolate. I did cut out milk chocolate. But dark chocolate has some properties and nutrients within dark chocolate that I'm still gonna eat. That's like one of the only things that's good that I have left to eat. And I also feel like the inflammation was just making me puffy. Or maybe I just haven't been eating well, because I ate a lot of cheese. I was eating a lot of cheese and like heavy pastas for a while. And I think I just got really nice and fluffy. But you know what? You have to do things to make yourself happy. Yeah, well, with dark chocolate, you know, Trader Joe's has a really good dark chocolate. So I only ate 3 pieces. Yeah, I'm not eating processed foods. Okay, tofu is a processed food, but I feel like it's just pressurized processed food. Tofu is bad. Well, I know tofu, corn, and wheat, they're one of the most genetically modified foods. But if you eat the organic tofu, I feel like maybe it's not as bad. Or the non-GMO. Like, there's gotta be some good things about tofu. Like, it can't be all bad. You gotta, I'm not, and then like, okay, everything can be bad. So then I also am leaning more towards pescatarian when I eat at home. So then, you know, people are saying, well, there's mercury in fish and, you know, the waters aren't clean. I mean, nothing anymore is good for you. Everything's like leaning towards bad. And I feel like, you know, our food has lost a lot of the nutrition and worth and value when you go to some grocery stores, like Korean grocery stores, you can see it. It's very evident what with the GMO foods. Like the apples are like the size of like your face, the size of a face. It's like this big. And the bananas, like all the foods are just awkwardly large. Like and the like the nutritional content now for a much larger sized fruit or vegetable, it's less than what it used to be. Like even like a tiny apple back in the 1950s is way more nutritious than a big apple. Okay, so Asian pears, I think they were crossbred because it's an apple pear and they're really good. They're very crunchy, they're very flavorful. I highly recommend Asian pears. You know what? Eat what makes you happy. And like you were saying, in moderation, like people shouldn't be going all bananas in any one direction. Like this one lady who married my cousin, she ate bananas for 1 month. I don't know why she picked bananas. Maybe if she picked kale, it would have been a better idea. But she like bananas, which is full of sugar. Yeah. Anyways, and she said she just gained weight. I think she was doing it to lose weight. And it was like, I think, and she's a nurse. I was like, wow, that doesn't sound healthy. Like just eating one thing. Although cooking for yourself is no fun. So like, you know, I don't buy an entire array of food for the week. I'm doing much better than what I used to do because I used to go grocery shopping maybe once a month and then I would just go eat with friends. And sometimes I just, yeah, anyways. But now I go about once a week and I try to pick out different fruits and vegetables that are in season. But there are some things that are just kind of staples like kale, spinach. I'm trying to incorporate more salmon and anchovies and caviar or cod roe because they have omega-3. So I'm trying to uptake my omega-3 intake. I don't know. But that's the plan. The plan is to reduce inflammation, to do the elimination of food that may be irritating the whole body thing. So I do smoothies. So I bought a Vitamix back in 2012 when I first moved out into this one neighborhood. It was like the best purchase. So I use that for my smoothies. And so with the smoothies, usually some type of, for a while I did it a lot with water or coconut water. Because I'm trying to up my vitamin D and calcium intake. I then switched over to whole milk. But now because of me cutting out dairy, I'm now trying to do either almond milk or soy milk. So I know soy is a very GMO food. They made it so it's easier to produce in large quantities. But I also heard it's good way for women in a certain age group to maybe regulate their estrogen. I don't know. I guess I should probably speak to a dietitian or a nutritionist and not just listen to podcasts, but that is what it is. Owen protein drinks. So for me, like, that just doesn't sound very good. I would personally just like to do the smoothie. Best $300 I've invested. So it's 10 years I've had this Vitamix. I use it almost on a daily basis. Actually, I made myself a smoothie tonight. I made it with lemons, ginger, coconut water, a lot of spinach, and a frozen packaged strawberry, cherry, blackberry, blueberry mix. Like, you can just get those in the grocery freezer. I have a lot of items to make smoothies. So Parasite, you would think that I would watch Parasite because it was such a huge movie in the United States. It's a Korean movie, but I don't watch as much Korean movies as I do the dramas. You know, I don't like the taste of fake sugar. And I feel like protein shakes, they have like aspartame or even xylitol. I just don't like that. If I were to use a protein powder, I would use, like, they're in Korean grocery stores, they have stuff that is just bean, like ground up bean. Like, I think they roast it and then they grind it up. So that actually is not bad. And I do have cocoa powder that I put into my coffee in the mornings because I heard cocoa, like dark chocolate, is supposed to be good for you. But then I also heard Brazil nuts is supposed to be good for you. Like, only having one, because having a lot of Brazil nuts, it can get toxic in people's systems. And so after these lives, I post my reviews or my recommendations onto my YouTube channel. And sometimes people watch it, sometimes they don't. So I kind of wonder, you know, when people watch my YouTube channel, because they don't see the dialogue that goes up on the screen, like, I think they might just think that I'm talking to myself, which a lot of times I am. But yeah. But I do like smoothies. I will make them. I got my sister into it. I bought her a Vitamix. And I also made a lot of bone broths. So for me, I like oxtail soup, which is like a Korean thing, especially during the wintertime. It's very tasty. I used to have a pressure cooker or Instapot, and I used to use the Instapot because you can make a really good soup in like an hour. I mean, well, like prep time and then the cook time, it's all about an hour and a half, 2 hours, but in total, and then the cleaning. But for me, I actually think I like the crock pot better because it's easier to clean. It's less dangerous if you have a child or if you have a parent that doesn't listen and just yeah. Yep. But I like bone broth. And I heard it's really good for certain things. I forget what. But I know a lot of paleo people and CrossFit people really like bone broth. I guess you can't be vegan or vegetarian if you're eating bone broth. And I'm this week I'm not doing bone broth with bones. I'm doing it with chicken feet because there's a lot of collagen in chicken feet. So what I plan on doing, so I have a Vitamix, but I also have an Omega 3000 or 5000 juicer. So it's not the centrifuge where it spins around, but it has like a double barrel and it just squeezes out all the juice. So what I do is I squeeze out all the juice in carrots and celery, and I take the pulp and then I make soup stock with it with the chicken feet. I think that's pretty healthy. But yeah. So that younger guy in this drama, The Love in Your Eyes, or whatever this K-drama is called, he's kind of like a brat. Like, He's the younger brother of a family, and he lost quite a bit of money. He's not studying. The sister-in-law, which is the lead female, she's supporting a lot of the family, like emotionally, monetarily. Ugh. Okay, well, with the chicken feet foot, they're actually called claws. I got corrected over at Whole Foods. They're called chicken claws. I was like, oh, do you have chicken feet? He's like, I got schooled. They said, no, it's chicken claws. Claws make more sense, but whatever. So the chicken feet, I had it once in a Korean place. It was very spicy. And I can eat it. I can eat that one. When the chicken feet or claws come around in the dim sum, when people go out for dim sum, because there's always someone who wants to order it. I did not eat that one. I just don't want to eat on. You're basically eating chicken calluses. It's like the chicken that was walking around in the hen with, like, you know. You're eating the calluses of a chicken. You're basically eating the thing that, you know, the nail salon techs scrape off of the feet. That's just kind of gross. Anyways, but yeah, I make bone broth out of that one. The one that I actually ate is Korean. It's super spicy. It was at a specialty restaurant, and it was very tasty for the sauce that the chicken feet was in. But I personally, you could put that sauce on almost anything, like ribs, and it would have been as good. And I personally would have preferred eating pork ribs with that sauce rather than chicken feet. Because one, there's not much to eat off of a chicken feet. No, it's not breaded. It wasn't breaded. You're just eating sauced calluses of the chicken feet. And yeah, I would have rather, because there are some really good pork rib places with the spicy sauce. I would have preferred eating that. But you know, when you're with friends, you don't want to be the one who's like, oh, I don't want to eat that. Because like, yeah. But I do use it for soup stock because it's amazing for the collagen that it just kind of, that comes out in the soup. And it's very tasty because along with the vegetables that I grind up for my veggie drinks, I put a lot of garlic and ginger in it. So, I mean, garlic is very good and healthy for you. I also put, like, sometimes I put onions. It depends on if I'm like feeling the onions, but definitely garlic. I'm a big garlic person. Like when I go to Korean barbecues, I will order like the tin of raw garlic and then, you know, put that onto the Korean barbecue area, and it'll just kind of cook and simmer, and then I will eat a slice of the garlic along with the meat with some sauce. So it's very, very good. And the next day, for some reason, my skin looks really good. I kind of feel like it's part of the beef that I'm eating, but also because of the garlic. And I really like the Korean barbecue. You can't eat it that much, like all the time, because of, unless like some people's body types, they could probably eat red meat all the time. But I also have friends who are, they have gout. They have gout. And I guess red meat is bad for gout and beer. So whatever King Henry VIII had with the gout thing, that's what some of my friends have. And as you get older, like, yeah, I have to be very careful about that. I think a lot of people on TikTok seem to be younger, but you can start when you're younger. You don't have to be an aged person to be very cognizant of what, you know, nutrients and stuff. There's Korean places anywhere. I was in Vietnam and I went to a Korean restaurant in Vietnam. It was in, I think in Da Nang. We were in a city called Da Nang in Vietnam. And I guess the reason why there was a Korean restaurant, it's because Samsung had opened up a plant in Da Nang. And I guess that's where the people would go to eat. Every city, I think, in the United States, okay, I can't say that because there's some really small towns. I would say if you have a large enough, no, I take that back. There's always going to be a Chinese restaurant in every city, but maybe not Korean. Oh, 1 hour away is kind of far. I highly recommend people, if they're gonna go to Asia, stop by Korea, eat some food, go out. Flushing, Queens has a ton, I agree, and so does 32nd Street in Manhattan. Those two places, I think, have a huge amount of Korean restaurants, cute little stores. I used to live in Manhattan. I would go to 32nd Street. You're bringing back memories. I would go to 32nd Street and go to like the restaurants, and there was this one like sticker, kind of like Sanrio, Hello Kitty kind of gift shop. I would always go in there, Koreatown is right next to Empire State Building. And Macy's, like it's like Murray Hill area. And I heard that there's a lot of financial bros over there, and so it's not like a well sought out after place like Soho, Greenwich Village, West Village, Tribeca, Upper East Side. But yeah, oh, so I used to go to this gift shop. There were a lot of stickers, there were a lot of little cute things. I mean, I went so much that the owners recognized me. It was so cute. I don't know if it's still open. And my boyfriend and I at the time, we would go to a place called Spot, where all of our friends would go for drinks, coffee. It was cute. And then I think third floor is still open. Third Floor Cafe is like on the third floor of a building in Koreatown, which is Korean Street on 32nd or 33rd Street in Manhattan. And third floor was like just this really cute, like kind of like bar food, drinks place where a lot of people would go before they would go out to the nightclubs. And it was so much fun. And I recently saw a TikTok video of the lobby of where I went so much that I recognized the lobby area. Soju House is in the same building, I think, as third floor, because the last time I went to Manhattan, and it's been a while, it was, I think, in 2015 or 2016, so it's already been 5 or 6 years. Anyways, my friend told me to go to Soju House to meet him, and it was fun. I don't really like soju. Soju is not I don't like soju. It just seems like a very harsh alcohol. But yeah, they had really good like Korean pojamatcha food there. It was really yummy. I would recommend that place. Soju is too sweet for you. You are probably drinking the mixed soju, because soju is actually it's similar to vodka in that there is no sweet. It's just pure alcohol. So if you're drinking something that's sweet, it's because they mixed it with stuff. They probably mixed it with you probably got pineapple soju or yogurt soju, and if you get any of those, they are very, very sweet, yeah. And A lot of girls drink those drinks. So when people go out as a group, people will drink the mixed soju because it's easier to drink for girls, because I think just plain soju comes in a green bottle and you crack it open. There's no, it's not sweet at all. It's just a yucky alcohol. It's super cheap. It's cheap. It's not well refined. It is. I just don't find it to be a very good alcohol. I would not recommend. I think if somebody is going to go out for a drink and for it to be worth it is a nice glass of wine or a top shelf whiskey. I think if like soju is just like you're drinking almost like rubbing alcohol. It's just bad. And I know like the Koreans, because I'm half Korean and half Chinese, I think that's offense. See, there's good sake. I think sake, you could get pretty nice sake. And there's sochu, because one of my friends, they're importing sochu from Japan, but it's not soju. And I'm sure my pronunciation is terrible. And then makgeolli is that cloudy rice drink. I think that seems more like traditional. Like they pour it out of a teapot and they drink it out of those little copper bowls. That's kind of cute. But soju, the Korean soju, not sochu, like I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, anyways, I don't recommend. But Sake House was fun. No, Soju House is fun in Manhattan. My friends like Sake House in Los Angeles. And the food is pretty good in Sake House in Koreatown in Los Angeles. And they have a lot of sake. And good Japanese food. Good Japanese appetizer. They have good izakaya, the little Japanese food, not appetizers, but they're almost like Japanese tapas. But yeah, I think I'm going to wind down this live just because I'm losing my voice. But it was nice chatting with you all. I hope to see you all again on another live, and have a great night. Bye.